Anarkali, I'd read that you had this idea years and years ago, and then it just took a little time for things to line up. So can you talk about that?
Yeah, I wrote Anarkali when I was 19. And it sat with me till I was about 34.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
What happened?
Because I just was like, how's this going to happen? Who's going to fund it? Who's going to care about that story? Why would somebody care about it? So I just kind of sat with it, and I wasn't doing film. And I think it was in doing, because I was still working in community. Like, I spent 14 years working on the front lines. And I think I was reaching the end of that journey in community work. I was burnt out. I was tired. You had lost so many students along the way. It was really painful. It was like day in, day out trauma work. There was so much vicarious trauma that I was dealing with. And you're never given the tools of self-care. We're not, unfortunately. I feel like in that work, the work is so hard. And the way the system is set up, it's not set up to take care of frontline workers. And so I was nearing its end and really needed an outlet. And although I wanted to tell stories like Canadian and Nanki at that time, what I really needed was a light, like a very light sort of release. And that was when I revisited. It was kind of just floating around out in the world. And then I was going to go to a Sikh feminist conference that was taking place in Michigan. And one of the organizers asked me if I would pick up 2 young women. And I was like, sure. And one was Ray and one was Rupi Kaur. And off we went, and it was like we were long lost friends. We yapped all the way there, yapped while we were there, spent the entire, it was like an intense 24 hours.
Had you never met? Because you're all from the same area.
No.
Wow.
No,
so it took going to this conference.
Yeah, I didn't even know
Yeah.
of them. But it was just so remarkable. Their politics were amazing. They were so in sync. They had the same values of sisterhood. So it was just so remarkable. I was like, oh, these young women. And when I looked at Gideon, like Kay when she sat in the passenger seat, I was like, there was this sparkle in her eyes that I felt like I had lost so long ago in her love for film. And I was so amazed. And I told her, I'm like, oh my God, you're Anarkali. You are the character I wrote when I was 19. And she was so like, well, okay. And I was like, oh my God, I want to shoot it. We should turn it into a web series. And she's like, yeah, okay. Like, just so, let's just do it. And I felt like I lost that somewhere, because I used to take, like, I just used to pick up and leave. And I felt like somewhere I had lost that spontaneity.
That spark, maybe, to say, I can get this going.
Right. And then she was like, let's just shoot it. And then literally we met in November. We did some photography together for a series called the Good Indian Bride that I did, which is a photography series. And I loved working with her. And then in February, we shot the pilot for Anarkali. So quickly, we moved.